All right, there we go. Okay, so I kind of wanted to make a final matchup chart before obviously the major balance patch coming with Dizzy and whatnot. Obviously, we see like the new move to Chipp and the little intro to Dizzy. Hopefully, more new moves come because I mean, obviously, the character I play is potentially gonna get one. But usually, I'd make the matchup chart by myself. But I brought on another Zato player, Poncho. So what's up?
Yep.
People probably don't know Poncho because he's kind of low-key, but along with myself, he's probably the best Zato we have outside of the, like, Pep and Tene, the obvious ones. Only ones that are really playing the character nowadays. Obviously, you've seen my videos. Haven't really seen much of him again, he's kind of low-key, but yeah, I guess just two opinions to have is would be good. There's no really order to it, so yeah, I guess we just start with Slayer. This character is... This matchup sucks, I will not lie.
Yeah.
This matchup is pretty horrible. I guess we can start with you. What are the main things that stand out when you play it? And then I'll kind of talk about it as well.
I mean, the risk reward is like actually like terrible and like everything. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Also, like, like the fact that he can just like rob you at like any point, like so like you're like he has high health, right? And you like do low damage, and so he's like guaranteed to build 50. So he's like gonna like try to rob you, like neutral skipping, then like do mad damage. Obviously, he has like the Apple Hunch super, so like that shit's like also broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
the numbers are just horrible.
Yeah, the neutral was like kind of annoying. So like the Mappa Hunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that shit's like pretty good at like calling out like summons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like me trying to summon in neutral. Fucking 2H is like actually broken. Like I don't know what the hell Zato does. I'm not gonna lie, other than like IDJH.
Yeah. It's so hard to get around. Most characters, I guess, like in the situation of a character like Kai, you're using a standing normal, so you're challenging Slayer with that, so you're not as worried about the 2H low crushing your button. But Zato's Far Slash is quite horrible. It's definitely one of the worst in the game. It's 10 frames, which is good, so it's faster than the average Far Slash. The issue with it is just the recovery and the reward on hit. Obviously, if a character like Happy Chaos hits you with Far Slash, you're going through the wall. But the reward for Zato, he can't... A lot of times, like, that's not a combo, and a lot of times he can't even combo off the 5H to, depending on the range. Like, Far Slash 5H doesn't combo all the times. You're kind of just going into Far Slash into Eddie. So the risk reward, the numbers are just horrible. 2, you're using 2S a lot, and that has chances of getting load crushed by this. And if you get load crushed by this, like...
You just fucking die.
Yeah, like, the game is actually just... Let me see if I can even... Oh, wait, I suck. Yeah, I mean, the risk reward is pretty garbage. You're using a low button to contest Slayer, whose main tool is this. Again, like Poncho said, Mop Punch is good for calling out summons. A lot of the times you go to summon, and then Eddie just dies. The neutral without Eddie is horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it is
it's like,
horrible.
If you like break the wall and you like don't have Eddie, it's like you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, you're doomed. You can't use Fly that much because his close slash is sadly like one of the best anti-air close slashes in the game with unlimited reward. Like this matchup is, I think it's horrible. And then like you said, the super calling out summons from full screen. Having that option is very good, especially if the 100 bar, you kind of just skip the screen. So Zato feels like he's locked out at like all points of the game. Doesn't really feel like much you can do in a lot of different situations. Yeah, this match was just horrible. I think it could be his worst. There's another matchup or two, which I will bring up later, that we'll talk about, that might be worse, but I'm so biased. I hate this character. This matchup is just terrible. And unironically, the backdash cancel. This move is not seen to be that good by, like, the... Okay, it has its uses. Like, versus Elphelt, for example, it's very good. But there's some cases with Zato where it is actually very good. For example, after his command grab, he has some situations where he can get out.
Yeah, I swear to God, I laughed this shit out. Unless
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But there are some situations where he can get out with the backdash cancel.
I don't like that shit. Also, like the fact that it's not airborne is like really good versus Zato.
Yes.
Like, a lot of his reward comes from like you getting like airborne hit. So,
yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up later, as well, for like later matchups that we talk about. If your backdash doesn't put you airborne, it's a big disadvantage for Zato, just because the off hit if you land an invite hell, usually the opponent's option is, or most people just randomly default in the backdash, like always. Like everyone will always backdash if Zato is like, a lot of times with Zato you have to delay. You have to run up deeper and then do 2S to catch their backdash. And when they do, you catch their backdash because they're in the air, and then you do invite hell again, and then the reward is better since you get like better Oki for calling out their backdash. Since Slayer does not actually leave the ground, that means that, again, Zato is a character with low numbers. He can't combo off non-counter hit S normals. So if he catches your backdash with 2S standing, like Slayer's backdash, there's just no reward. Like, I mean, yeah, no type of reward in this. Yeah, no combo there, so pretty poor. This matchup is, again, just bad, but yeah, I'd say that's the base. Again, we'll come back at the end and we'll try to like put everything on a list, but this is definitely one of the ones closer to the top for sure. So next is the character I also play with Zato, so Asuka. My opinions on this matchup are going to be different than his, because he is way better at the matchup than me. Obviously, I play the character. I know Poncho does as well, but I think I've been playing the character for a bit longer, but he definitely has played this matchup a lot more than me as Zato, so I'll let him talk about it to start. What are your opinions on this?
So the first thing is like burst. It's like pretty big, because like Asuka, he's gonna burst you, and he's gonna like, he's gonna like meaty you with like a million cubes, so the fact that like Eddie comes back, faster after burst is like pretty nice, because you're not gonna, because like before you get like a 2k2d knockdown, and you summon Eddie, he's just gonna burst you.
Yeah.
So that like buff is like pretty good. Also, the standing counter hit is like pretty big in this matchup, because he's gonna like gonna try and summon or whatever, or like not summon, but like
throw
cast
cubes.
spell. Yeah. So that's like pretty big as well. Eddie is also pretty big in the matchup, because so he's good at clearing cubes, but the issue is like if you fuck up, then it's like he's gonna be dead for like he's gonna be like dead for a long time. So it's like that's not good. Low damage or low health character, it's like not good versus Asuka as well.
Not at all. No.
Yeah. Also the super, the cube super, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that shit is like really good versus Zato, especially specifically for killing Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you don't have like good cards, you can just like throw it out. But yeah, that's like pretty annoying as well.
Yeah. I agree. The cube super is good to just get rid of Eddie. I think Zato in the matchup has a better option as far as normals than most characters. I think Zato's 2S is really good because it does go pretty far, but it's not the greatest. It's good. It's definitely an option, and I think it's like the Happy Chaos matchup where it's kind of like the only button you're really using versus Asuka in terms of normals. Obviously, you're using different stuff to kill cubes, like you're using 5p and whatnot, but as far as contesting Asuka, you're really only using 2S. Like you said, I think Eddie is good. I think once you get him out, he's good at killing cubes, but I think you have to lab the matchup and like kind of know what to do certain things to actually use Eddie like well, or else he's just gonna die, and when Eddie dies, you're kind of relying on flight, which is good because I do think Asuka 6p is not that great versus flight. So I think flight is good versus Asuka, but it's not as good as it used to be when Zato, before he got nerfed, because obviously the flight timer changed, and getting over, the big spells, like for example, Arpeggio for like being one, like flying over this before used to be easier. Or just flying over cubes in general, not even that, like, for example, like all this stuff, like staying in the air versus all this used to be more consistent. Obviously, if I had more spells there, then, I would be throwing them out, but before, that used to not be as big as a problem for Zato, but now it's definitely more of a factor. Also, two things. One of them, what Poncho brought up, low health character versus Asuka is not good. Asuka is obviously a character known for kind of being weaker to making comebacks, and if you have lower HP, then it makes it easier for him to get it, like, to make a comeback. One of the reasons why I think the Slayer matchup is so bad for Asuka as well. And the second one is the break the law nerf that happened. Asuka is a character, like, Zato needs to bait your burst as Asuka. Like, he needs to bait it. And the fact that you can't do that anymore hurts a lot. And obviously, like we said, the neutral, especially when Eddie dies, is just, like, kind of hopeless. So, the fact that he can't bait your burst anymore is very, very shitty. But, overall, I believe as Poncho said earlier, he would prefer to fight Asuka than most characters. But I would actually just never want to fight. I hate this matchup so much. I actually despise playing Zato in this. But I know Poncho thinks it's not that bad. Or it's bad, but not like end of the world bad. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, 2D is also just very good for Zato in general. But especially, like, sometimes he hits you, like, through your own drills. It's pretty good at killing Eddie as well. So if you can get Asuka locked down, then obviously, like, it's good. You can take advantage of making Asuka block better than most characters at times, but just because obviously Zato's offense is still good, even despite all the nerfs and whatnot. Asuka has some good options, like I said. His 2P is very good. His 5P is alright, but it's mainly the 2P. Very good, far-reaching normal. It's good in Eddie pressure, but yeah, I mean, also Zato does lower damage, which is unfortunate. But yeah, overall, we'll come back and rank all these later. Not the end of the world bad, still pretty bad. Alright, we've already reached the point where, after we talked about Slayer, I said that there would be some characters that I think the matchup actually might be worse than the Slayer matchup. And this might be one of them. I'll let Poncho take it away first.
So the neutral is pretty bad, right? Like the yo-yo is like probably one of the best like moves in the game at like killing Eddie, I'd say. So that's like pretty bad. The button interactions are like really fucking bad. So you're like kind of left to like just mash on 6P basically.
Yeah.
Cause like yeah, but yeah, that's pretty bad. Flight is like kind of adds to the 2H. Yeah, that shit. Like you kind of have to like pray that they're like not looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Her 2P is also really good at like stuffing out Eddie, because like one thing he does have going is like Eddie pussies are like pretty decent, because like Eddie can go under the yo-yo and also like R slash and like right nature, right? But like obviously if she TKs it, then it's like kind of annoying, but yeah, but like yeah, like you can like idle Eddie, and like moving him forward goes under like some of her like buttons, like mainly on far slash on the page. But like 2P, like obviously good at taking care of that, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like about it.
Yeah, the neutral is, I'd say Bridget. You'd agree, Bridget's a top 5 character at killing Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bridget just kills Eddie so well, like, kind of gets him off the screen to the point where a lot of times you can't use him. Again, her normals are good for stuffing Eddie out. She's good at dealing with Fly. There's not a lot of, like, hope in this matchup. This is good as well at killing Eddie. I mean, everything she has. The 2P, low committal buttons, like, you know, she's good in the air. She's good at countering you while you're in the air. Like, she beats you kind of at every level of the game. And to top it off, which most people don't know, or, I mean, everyone knows. What is it? She's a DP. I will say this once, and I'll probably say it, or no, okay, I'll say this as much as I need to. If you have a DP, Zato loses to you. Zato does not beat any character with a DP in this game. Yeah, just, I mean, and it's a very active DP, which is, unfortunate. It's not as quite as, it's weird, so it has its uses, even though it's smaller, it has its uses because it's so active. It's not like Sin, who we'll talk about later, whose DP is humongous and just destroys some setups, but, it's a very active DP, and just a DP in general, just very good. The post-burst situation, okay, I'll say this. The reason why I thought last patch, this matchup was probably next to Leo in terms of the worst, just because obviously the Eddie change that exists now of letting you keep Eddie after the burst, or where he dies, you know, he respawns. Before it was, oh my gosh, the neutral in this matchup was already horrible, and the fact that Eddie was just dead for like 10 seconds was like after burst, like I'll put the clip on the screen of me fighting Rox in FlyQuest. Like I got bursted and the game literally just ended. In fact, I beat Rox in pools of FlyQuest 3-1. We played in top 8 and she started bursting. Like that's literally the only thing that changed. She just started bursting on block. Like on block. Like when I got my turn, let's say I did like fly JH, moment I summoned, like the moment boom, game was over. Like no Eddie, the game was done. But yeah, no, this matchup used to be, it's still a joke, but it used to be memes. I like Poncho said, the only thing you can really do a lot of the times is just fly and pray they're actually not looking at the screen. Like you actually have to just like get lucky. And one thing people don't realize, so okay, Zato is really bad at catching backdashes, and Bridget has the backdash of the world, right? And almost like you move as fast backwards as Bridget as Zato runs forward. So it's really bad. And she's known to be a lower damage character, and obviously Zato having the 3rd lowest HP in the game does not help at all, because it makes it seem like Bridget's hits like don't matter as much since they're doing way more damage than to the average character. So yeah, it sucks. You get out risk rewarded by Bridget like that. It's not fun. The neutral sucks. And not to mention, like, kind of like Slayer, she has a full screen tracking super, which I don't understand why. But yeah, no, this matchup is horrible. We'll rate it later, but yeah, not fun. All right, GoldLewis. Okay, to start, I'll let Poncho start, but let me just say this. This is a matchup Zato used to win. Like he actually used to do very well. Like Zato should beat this character. The fact that Zato does not beat this character is upsetting, and the fact that this match was actually ass is, like, the worst part. But I think Poncho, unironically, so, like, for Asuka, he likes the matchup more than I do, but I actually like this matchup more than he does, so I'll let him start why he thinks it's so bad.
So, one is, like, you know, obviously he's a high damage character, high health, that's, like, already not good.
Yeah.
He's gonna out-risk reward you.
Yeah.
Other thing is, like, drone is, like, fucking broken. Minigun is broken.
Yes.
Like it is like actually just like kills Eddie for free.
Yeah.
Like because like before you could like, you know, summon Eddie and you could like use a pose or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To like clear out the drone or whatever. And you could just like, you know, you could like fly away, backdash a couple times and like go get Eddie back. Now it's like you just have to like play without Eddie for like way longer.
Yeah.
He's also gonna like burst you into that shit too. So like
yeah.
if you don't have Eddie, then like that's also just like doom. Or he's gonna do like a laser super. That's also like just doom. Well, he can BTL, but like you know.
Yeah.
His anti-airs are really good too. 2P is like godlike.
Yeah.
Fucking like what else? I'm trying to think.
Danger.
That's like all I can think of right now.
Yeah. With me, so okay. I'm just really comfortable in this matchup. I've played it a lot. This matchup is definitely bad, though. And for the reasons, kind of to add into what Poncho was saying, so one of the things about this matchup that used to be very good, so round start, Zato would just backdash, and he would already be in, like, a favorable position. Now, due to White Walled Assault, right, that happens. So it's not just as free anymore. They can use White Walled Assault to call it out. Obviously, you can throw it, but it's pretty hard. So the round start, not letting Zato just go into what he needs to do to win is good. Because a lot of times the game would be decided at round start before. The next thing, obviously, just White Wall still existing. Before I actually get into that, like, so we'll talk about drone and minigun. So minigun and drone. So before, Zato used to be the best character versus drone, right? You would put up a pose, and right, he just couldn't really do much about it. A pose would essentially eat all the hits of drone. I'll wait for it to get to level 3, and then you can see what it looks like. Right, and you would still have time to unsummon. Now, since you can't summon us. Before, it would be an Eddie Footsies matchup. You can unsummon, summon over again, drills, right? Now, since Minigun, so because of the Eddie timer, Eddie dies, and GoldLewis has a lot more options to work with, just because, again, Eddie's dead for so long. Yeah, I mean, Minigun now being, like, an actual thing is just tough. If Minigun reaches level 3, so if you do a pose, and I do Minigun, oh, wait, which one is it? Oh, this, okay. So, once it hits this, so do a pose. Oh. Next level. So, this level 2 security minigun will kill Eddie, like, always. You can't unsummon Eddie. So, if you have Eddie out and he does level 2, Eddie is dead. You cannot save him. And if he does level 3, I mean, it's the same thing. Eddie will die, right? Can't get around that hard knockdown. If you try to unsummon, you will get hard knockdown. He'll run up on you, pull up. Since Eddie's dead for longer, again, drone. And flight is worse. So again, when Eddie was dead, before you just backdash a couple times and he would come back, and then you can set up a pose and kind of stuff out GoldLewis. He couldn't really do anything. Now, since Eddie's dead, you're on the back foot more, and you rely on either backdashing yourself into the corner or using fly. But since flight is nerfed, you can't fly around or over GoldLewis as easy. And if you try to land on him, like this, the God 2P, like... Okay, I actually don't know why it's working here. But yeah, that will happen. Cut the other ones out. That will happen. This will... I suck. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Yeah, that will happen. There we go. That will happen, like, every time. I promise. So yeah, you can't fly on him. You can't fly over him as easy. Eddie is a lot harder to use since GoldLewis actually has good options at killing him. And not to mention, there's some RPS situations as well where you can use this to kind of kill Eddie as GoldLewis. And not to mention, Zato, his 6P is good, but it's slower. But I know people think the 6P is broken, which it is as a neutral tool. Yeah. But it's not the best, yes, it's not the best anti-air, which people don't really take into consideration. But yeah, it serves the job, and to rely, I mean, I guess if you want to use a 5P for an anti-air, you can't, because Zato has the worst anti-air 5P in the game. But, yeah, so overall, this matchup just isn't fun. I think GoldLewis players are very bad, though, and you can, like, you're able to just win. But realistically, like, yeah, no, this matchup was pretty bad. I know Tene lost to UA Ring at first attack, I believe, and he also lost to Red I Am Not 3-0 at Combo Breaker. So, I mean, there's other cases as well. I mean, this matchup just is not fun. But I would actually rather play it over a lot of other Zato matchups. But I know Poncho might be really different because, again, I've just played it more. But, yeah, this matchup is weird, because I actually do think there was a point in time where Zato went even into this matchup, or depending on what you told Geo players, they might think she lost, but point is, Zato used to be able to fight this character. So, okay, I guess the first thing, and I'll bring this up versus, I guess I'll start. To start, the thing is versus faster characters, and I'll say this for Millia, I'll say this for Chipp, and maybe another character. But one thing is, Zato cannot use his S normals versus faster characters, right? They have a lot of recovery. It's not like Kai Far Slash where you just throw it out and you pray and you win, right? So you're relying on your P normals, which are definitely which are worse due to the nerfs, and then you're relying on your K normals, so your 2K, because obviously you're never using 5K. The problem with characters like this is they're looking to whiff punish you, and Zato is playing. He's playing at a space where his 2K 2D will always, like, whiff when you're right. So, for example, if I'm playing Geo and I overstep and you go to do 2K 2D, this will happen. And then you end up losing the game. So the footsies, it's not great for Zato. And so a lot of the times you're relying on Eddie to at least kind of help you out. But the problem is he's dead, and the faster characters are really good at killing Eddie. So Eddie's just never really seen on the screen, and the numbers are just horrible. The risk reward is trash. So Zato essentially just sucks at playing in these type of matchups. Geo is a higher health character. Obviously, she gets higher HP when she gets meter. So again, hard to kill her. Higher HPs are just generally good versus Zato because he's lower damage. And on top of having lower HP, if you block, Geo, when she has bar, she starts doing chip damage. So if you look at Zato's health, right? You know, so it's not fun. The neutral is bad. She is this, which is good at killing Eddie, like, especially when you're trying to do, like, Eddie footsies, right? She is this. I mean, the dash is literally broken, so it's just a teleport, which Zato just can't handle a lot of the times. Especially this move, dash 5k, is just so good versus this character. Gets high reward off her lows, so especially with this. So, oh, there we go. Gets high reward off her lows, especially 2D counter hit or just knockdown in general, because then you go into this. If you don't have a DP, you're just guessing, like literally guessing for game every time. Like at this point with Zato's current HP, if he gets clipped by the wrong starter after this, like he's gonna die. So yeah, again, not fun. She also has an air super. I don't know how to do the air super. Oh, there we go. Air super, so good for going over drills and neutral if you want to spend it. Kind of just a free get Eddie out the way. Kind of like the Bridget and Slayer super. And it's plus on block, which is, I don't know why, but yeah. Overall, Zato, just weak defense versus Geo. Poor neutral. Risk reward is terrible. Anything you want to add on, or?
Her DP is also like really fucking good at like anti-airing, and like the reward off of it is like pretty insane. I think if Geo used it as like a traditional DP, like it'd be like pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she does a lot of things right in this matchup. It's horrible. Yeah, that's pretty. She's so straightforward. There's not too much to talk about with her. The things she has, the straightforward things that she has, are just very good versus Zato. So yeah, it's kind of the base of it. All right, now we have Ram. This matchup is this matchup is jokes. I'll let Poncho start.
So first of all, her normals are like broken, right? Like bar slash and 5H, but like especially 5H are like it's like really good at like just like, you know, shutting down like your summons and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Her JP is like godlike at like air to airing, and like her reward is also really good because you're gonna always get like a hard knockdown for some reason. I don't know why. She's for some reason like still pretty fast, like considering her like normals, right?
Yeah.
So that's like pretty annoying. Defense is like really bad because, you know, Rock is like godlike. Like the only way you can really play around it is like you hard guess with Amorphous, or you get into like a dead zone where like you're in between Rock and Ram, so you can like punish her.
What is? Oh, there we go.
Like this. So like that would be like a 5H punish, right? So that's like the only way you can like really play around that, because like, you know, flight is like, you know, you're not gonna like get over there in time.
Yeah, like for example, if I do like Zato cannot IED over and punish this ever, or I guess not even IED flight because he doesn't have a typical IED. Right, like there's no reward. You can't make Ram scared of doing stupid options, just because the neutral is just so horrid. Getting out of her pressure is pretty bad. She's good at dealing with flight, like Poncho said. Like if you try to jump and she does this, right? Or I mean, if she hits you with that, you know, or she just lands and, you know, she continues whatever she's doing. The damage is insane, especially having a super like this. I mean, like it just kills Zato, right? Like it's,
also her super, like what was it? Yeah, that one is really good.
Yeah.
Or like on defense specifically, because like you can't, like at least versus Slayer, if like they can do like the reversal super on like, you know, because like Zato's gonna do like a button into summon, right?
Yeah.
And that usually has like a gap, so like Ram players will just like mash on it and like, you know, you'll like just die. But at least against like versus Slayer, you can like empty summon into it, and then like you'll be safe. But like against Rams, like, oh.
Yeah.
Like even like that doesn't work. You know, you don't recover in time. So
Can't
like,
even do
that's
2D.
like really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do 2D and do anything. You get punished because your 2D is -9 and her super's 9 frames. Right? Like the only thing you can do is break the law after your 2D and praying that like you don't get like the ram doesn't just like kill you on like your when you're coming up. Yeah, numbers are trash. You can't summon at all because of this. And also, we didn't even talk about sword toss. Oh my gosh. Just blows through everything. You have to have a pose going. But the only issue with having a pose in this, so you're like, okay, well, I don't want to get Eddie killed, so I'm gonna have a pose up, right? And play through a pose. Dude, she plays at such a safe range that essentially you can't do much. Like even when you have a pose up, you're just kind of stuck, right? It's like playing around Baiken's Kabari, but worse. So yeah, just not fun. And honestly, the P normal nerf is pretty bad because once you get into like range with Ram, where like you want to play like with K or normals or P normals, right? The having the nerfs on your P normals just they don't feel good at all. You already didn't get reward off them, and you still don't. And them just being worse in general is just pretty sucky. The only thing that got better for Zato is Ram got slower with the 3.0 patch, but she still moves really well. And her walking speed and whatnot are still good. So again, it's a pretty horrible matchup. I don't think personally, and again we'll place them later. I don't think it's worse than the Bridget matchup. I could be wrong. I think the Bridget matchup might be worse, but again we'll talk about it later. But yeah, no, this matchup is just again another straightforward character like Gia. Not much to talk about, just terrible matchup. Yeah, no, I dodge every pot, so I have no knowledge really on this. Like, okay, this matchup it used to be Zato's best at one point. I think now it's probably like around even, but the numbers are just bad, and obviously Pot getting better Oki and confirms off his hits definitely helps him. I will not speak too much about this matchup because I suck at it, but I mean, if you get hit by this, he is this, and he is this, and he's stronger than he was before. That's as simple as it gets. I'll just put it around even, but who cares about Pot in a game with all these other, like Slayer and Mei and Abba, right? It's whatever. Unless you have anything to add to it, I get Pot off my screen, right? Like, I don't...
Yeah, I mean... the what's it called, slide head is kind of annoying because like you want to like summon Eddie, so like that'll like knock you down.
Yeah.
But the summon Eddie buff is like, pretty nice because you can actually like summon Eddie in time before like he doesn't know where to summon head. 2H is like pretty annoying because it's like a really good anti-air. Yeah, like that shit would like catch you a lot, and then like the reward is like also really good.
Yeah.
The new move is also kind of annoying because like like you used to be able to like kind of play at this range, like versus Pot, and like you can't really like do much, right? So like that move is like pretty good because it like covers like that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's fucking Pot, bro.
Yeah, it's Pot. Like, it's Pot.
So like 5P is like broken because like usually you get to like run. Yeah, that shit's also really broken. But like usually you get to like run under 5P. Zato can't do that. So like he has to like FD break, and then like your reward, like your reward is also just like good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get like combos off normal hit.
Yeah.
2P is like really good. You can like can't really even punish it, to be honest. It's like kind of hard.
Yeah.
2S is like godlike anti-air, and like because like the reward is really good, and if you block it, you like build like a lot of risk. Like
yes.
Yeah, you're like constantly building, like you're blocking all these normals. You're like building a bunch of risks. It's like when he eventually does hit you, you like explode.
Yes.
You can use flight to like kind of like get in like dead zones or like his like normals and whatever, and like you like use different flight angles to like avoid them. But like the reward is a lot worse because like he's gonna burst you and you're gonna like, go back into playing neutral. I'm trying to think what else. Hey, usually you want to like counterpoke with 6P, but like obviously your reward isn't like insane.
Yeah, like
yeah. Also, his defense, mainly mid screen, is like actually uniquely pretty good. Because like
very good, yeah.
So like just like mash 2H or something. Like that'll probably hit me. And then like just press like 5P after. Like that'll like, and like 2K will obviously be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's like pretty annoying. The neutral's really bad. has like somewhat good like defensive options, mainly mid screen.
Yeah.
But like yeah.
One thing I think is surprising about this matchup, so the new move, you would think that Zato is actually good at playing around this new move. When in reality, he's actually not good at it. Like, he's actually bad versus it. And I'll explain why. So, the reason why is because Zato has nothing that just he doesn't have, like, Sin Beak Driver that just goes through, like, punches through it. He doesn't have, like, Faust Scalpel, right? He doesn't have, like, okay, I'm not going to say Faust, because I think Faust actually loses this, but, like, Sin Beak Driver and Johnny Mistfinder. Two examples. Zato doesn't really have that. He is a reflector, but the issue is, if you try, it's more of a bait, because if you try to reflect it, the Axel is just waiting for you to reflect it. And yeah, it's not that, he's probably not the worst at playing around it, he's just not as good as you would think he is. Yeah, the 2P, oh god.
The Wild Assault nerfs, I'd say, like, impacted the matchup a bit.
Yes, of course. And just in general, like, the 3.0 burst break the log chain. Like, again, like Asuka, Axel is a character where you need to bait his burst. And the fact that you can't do that is pretty shitty. You went over his unique defense. One thing I don't think people realize as well is this move. Okay, so even without it being on the defensive end, like, Zato is so bad at playing around this move a lot of the times. And it just, again, like, Axel's supposed to be a lower damage character, but he builds so much risk, especially on the way Zato approaches Axel. You're just getting stuffed up with risk, and then you just, like, explode. All the soul changes suck. And this being frame 1 airborne, so if you do, like, an Eddie string, for example, like, let's say you do Pierce Drill. This is frame 1, even in the corner it works. Right? Yeah, not fun. This is great on defense. This is great on defense. This is unironically is very good situationally. The fly nerfs hurt because you can't try to get in his dead zone like any better than you know. It's just this shit is just trash. I will not lie. It is very bad. You can't hard knockdown wall assault him anymore, which is one of the things I think Axel struggled with the most in terms of the meta, because he didn't really take good advantage of the wall assault hard knockdown because he didn't really use it. But characters doing it to him was something that he definitely struggled with. So the fact that you just can't do it anymore is pretty terrible. You have to play around this too. Zato's pretty bad versus low profiles a lot of the time, so yeah. Overall matchup is just pretty bad. We'll rank it later, but it's not a fun one. Okay, Faust. So I'll start with this one. So one to start is, I think this matchup is, I used to think it was like, okay, it's always been, not always, but since season 3, it's always been losing. I used to think it was just like slight losing, but now I actually think it's worse than what I thought it was. And here's why. So okay, so overall, the Eddie nerfs just hurt a lot because I think Eddie can be strong versus Faust, but the fact that he's gone longer and it's just not good. Eddie though in Zato as a character he's really good at dealing with items. So for example, if you have Mini Faust. Mini Faust is like Mini Faust. Like that fellow's broken. But for example, the weight. So, or not the weight. The hammer and the afros and the bombs. There we go. So to start, the bombs. Obviously, you can just put up a pose and have it up there. So he's good at not getting hit by that. He's again hammer as well. A pose kind of just get rid of it. You have Trumpet, which again, Zato can avoid the Trumpet with the pose, or just break the law. Either or, kind of take your pick. The Afro, okay, so Faust, what is it? So this, yeah. Zato can just oppose that, or reflect it, which most people don't know. He should end up reflecting that. If there's a lot of bombs on the screen, so let's say, the moment I can start getting bombs. If you do Invite Hell, yeah, it just launches them up. So it's good at getting rid of them. So he's good overall, and then when I get meteors, for example, whenever it does decide to come out, Zato, again, but break the law or oppose. So he has good options. Like, he's not weak versus the items. He's weak versus the items when there's just and I guess that's most characters, right? It's just when they start filling up the screen, he's not really good at running through them or past them, or kind of making it difficult for Faust to summon. He's gonna just kind of withstand his ground when they're on the screen. As when there's too much though, like again, like Eddie's like forced to stay out because you can't unsummon him or else you'll get hit. So again, without Eddie, this matchup is pretty bad. In terms of pressure, like Faust has good, like this is good, this is good. I mean these are just good tools for killing Eddie.
J2K,
yeah, J2K as well is good for killing Eddie as well. You can't fly at all versus Faust because he probably has some of the best anti-airs in the game. With 5K, 2K, right? 5K, 2K, 2S, and then his 6P, which hits to the heavens. So yeah, you can't fly versus him. In terms of using Eddie in neutral, like I said, Faust is good buttons for killing him, but you kind of want to use Eddie footsies to try to play around his whiffs. So, for example, if he does 2H, you kind of want to set Eddie up in a zone where you're waiting for him to whiff something, and then you take advantage and fill the space after his whiff. Like, yeah, kind of like that. Faust is lower HP than you would think, even though he's tall and whatnot. But lower HP, so Zato can kind of kill him. He has no guts. But yeah, besides that, the matchup is just... These tools for killing Eddie are just too much. And a lot of the times, if the Faust is good, especially at using his items, it's really hard to like put in the game plan like the tools that you want to use versus Faust. So, like you want to use drills and oppose in this, but a lot of the times you're committing too much when you're summoning because you can't unsummon, or like mini Faust comes and then you're kind of just screwed. So again, without the items itself, like individual items aren't the problem. It's when Zato has a poor time, I would say, at threatening the space and making Faust scared to summon. Like, I know Johnny may lose to Faust, but you're not really summoning a lot of the times because you're scared of Mistfinder, especially with the counter hit state, right? You're not really summoning versus Ram or versus Chipp because they're so fast and they just fill the screen with normals or speed. So it's at the end of the day, it's not a terrible matchup. It's definitely one of Zato's better losing matchups. It's just hard to play around. And obviously, Zato is weak on defense, so if you do get put in that state where you are blocking, like, it's pretty hard. And I forgot to talk about it, but this as well. Like, this is very good versus Eddie. And if you get hit, then, right, you can go under it, but if, like, situations like this, like, that happens, right? And again, for most of the cast, depending on how much HP and where Zato is on the screen, maybe how much tension he has left, one Eddie kill can just mean the game. So in situations like this, you're just like dealing with items and then dealing with this while trying to manage Eddie on the screen. Like, it's too much. It's you just cannot do it, right? Like you just can't. So not terrible. You can win. It's not the end of the world neutral. It's just hard. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it. And obviously there's this, but you know, it goes both ways. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Leo. This match was ass, and it used to be his worst.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about it first, and then I'll jump in.
Well, for one, he has a DP, right? And his DP is like pretty big, so like you can actually like kind of fuck with some setups.
Nope.
Oh
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And also, their fireball obviously is like really good, like killing Eddie. But like yeah, like stuff like that, right? So you gotta like oppose. And like the problem is that like you'd think you can just like do something like that, right? But then like you're gonna just send Eddie to like that. So yeah. Also, the like drug trade just like isn't even that good because like this doesn't do like anything. Yeah. Guard point is like really good against Zato since he has like 2 S's in a low, so like he has a 2D, which is like, you know, obviously it doesn't go that far, so it's like that's not good. Your his dash block is like broken. Like actually, yeah. So like it doesn't like he's just gonna like, you know, dash block and like, you know. It's like his dash block is really good. Like having a good dash block in general against Zato is like just really good.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. Spike P obviously is really good at anti-airing.
With good reward.
Yeah. Zato has like low health, so like usually Leo doesn't do like a whole lot of damage. Either he has like average damage, I'd say, but like against Zato, like that doesn't really matter because like you're just gonna die like really fast, and your obviously your defense isn't very good against his back turn stance unless you like hit him out of like back turn H or something. So like yeah, because like usually your reward isn't gonna be like good.
Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned, Zato has no lows, Invihel isn't a low, 2S isn't a low. So when he's in guard point, he's kind of just like invincible. You have to commit to 2D, which is like, come on, bro. Like 2K 2D doesn't even work. Like, why would 2D alone be good to use? Very stubby 2D, not good. The P normal nerfs hurt a lot because that is one of the like main issues Leo players had before was Zato's P normals, and the fact that they're worse is just like terrible. You can't fly versus Leo. His 6P is very good. His dash block is broken. You can't reflect the fireball, which is like oh, wait, can't reflect it back at him. Compared to other fireballs like Kai or like Bedman or whatnot. Obviously you can the heavy one, but you're not really using this versus Zato. You're just using the other one because it's so broken versus him. And it's good at stuffing your summon. So if you like go to summon drills, like it's good at like because I believe it beats like that. Like look at that. Like it's broken. Leo players complain about his damage, but it's Zato, so you don't have to worry about that. You already mentioned Poncho already mentioned the DP, but I'll just say it again. If you have a DP, Zato loses to your character. So by default, even without everything else, Zato already loses. But yeah, no, Leo is top 5 characters in the game at killing Eddie. He just does it so well. Very not committal at all. His normals are better than yours. Like he's just better than you. The matchup is just it's pretty bad. It's jokes. And on top of that, Leo is looking to whiff punish you. So like I said, he's looking to whiff punish you, and when you do use 2K 2D, it just does not end up working. Like, right? And then you end up just losing the game because then you get put in like what is it? The 5K, 6K. There you go. Yep. And then you're in it. So yeah, not fun matchup. Pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Anji. Okay. Would you like go first? Go first.
It's like Fish is like that's like the first thing, right? Fish is like really good against like any character with like a projectile. It's like just like the threat of it is like really like strong because it's like it's like fully invincible. It's like a DP. It guard crushes plus on block. You can't like if you're like in range, you just like can't do anything. You just gotta hold it.
Throw it.
So like that's yeah. You like can't you can't even throw it. So like that's already really good. His defense against like Fujin is like really bad.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's so like usually like Nagiha, like you can't almost ever punish it unless you like IB like most of like his shit, right?
Yeah.
He's also good at just like catching your backdash with Nagiha. That's like also very annoying in neutral. His 2P is like a godlike on like defense and like at like stuffing out Eddie and shit. Yeah. So you kind of want to like do you want to play Eddie footsies, but like
you can
like the what's it called? Spin makes it like a lot more annoying now because like just like the threat of like Fish is like really big, in my opinion.
Yeah. What is? Oh, it's okay. I see. Oh what? Oh, it's the other way.
Let's go back.
There we go. Yeah, hard knockdown. It's before when Anji would spin, he would be like so minus. Like it would still be your turn. So if you did like drills in neutral and he spun, right? Like it just would be. Oh, I ran into it. Right? Like it's Zato's turn. Now when he spins, it's just like. Oh. Oh, I didn't even do it. Oh. There we go. Right? Now he spins, and it's essentially, again, DP, whatever. The move is broken. Verse projectiles, again, very good. Zato, like Poncho said, Zato on block is, like, the worst character at dealing with So if you were to like FD, so for example, we did. Right, like you can't like that from that range. You're not getting a 2D. Like there is no punish. Is the issue. Right, like that, yeah, like Zato is terrible at playing around Anji, like Anji's offense. The only thing he does have going for him is when Anji commits to doing this. Zato can do like instant JD and call it out, right, and get like a whole punish, which is good. But playing with Eddie on the ground is just very hard because you kind of have to like be tricky with how you use Eddie. But even then, like Anji, high HP, he's like top 5 highest HP characters in the game. He's just eating your hits, and a lot of times you just can't kill him, and you can't. A lot of the Zato starters are 2K, 2P, like, you know, whatnot, JD. So it's just, you can't kill it. You can't ever get like great hits versus him. The 2P, like he said, is very good versus Zato, both in neutral and defense. He has a parry super, which I'm not sure how to do it, but he has a parry super. Anji is also, one thing I'll add as well, if you have Orange Wild Assault, which is broken, because it's literally just another RC, Anji takes advantage of Orange Wild Assault very well. He uses it, like, in the same strength as, like, Kai. Like, I'd say they both use it, like, probably, like, two of the best characters at using it. His combos are just... Dude, you just go through the wall, right? And positive bonus being so broken as it is just like Zato being bad at playing around positive bonus because it means like the opponent has more chances for burst, more chance for YRC, whatnot, and everything. So it's just Anji having more access to that while being stronger in neutral versus Zato is just very good. Yeah. I'd say overall matchup is not doom. But in my opinion, it's just pretty bad and very hard to play. If you don't know what you're doing, then as Zato, you're just gonna get like destroyed. So yeah, I'd say that. All right, this matchup. Okay, so this is actually one of, in my opinion, one of Zato's better losing matchups. It's not doom. But it's pretty bad. I've played this matchup a lot, so I'll start with it. Okay, first thing, Kabari. So. Baiken has the privilege of being able to poke at Zato at safe ranges. So, for example, that, if he does a pose, kind of play at a safer range. The only thing Zato can do is if he puts up a pose, he can run through the oppose and do 2D at closer ranges, and then do an unsummon. But this is more like range dependent. You're not really doing that if she's all the way over here. Maybe in another world where Zato's 2D is like the GOAT, then like, you know, yeah, but not in this realm. So just hard to play around this. And then on top of that, she has this. So Invite Hell is very difficult to do. I think it's very risky to do versus Baiken because she can do this and just like the range on it and whatnot is just so good. And the reward as well. Like I'm not sure the combo, but like the reward on it is pretty strong. She also has this, so a lot of times when she's kind of above Zato, she does this, and it's hard for Zato to deal with it. Especially like when drills are out. So if drills are out, she has this to kind of reach over it due to it being so good. And she also has this kind of falling on Zato as well, making him block when the drills are out. Hard to 6P, especially for Zato. So just dealing with her when she's in the air is pretty hard, especially with your kit of like, you know, having Eddie like a projectile and kind of letting him roam around. It's hard to deal with her while she's in the air. And on the ground, she can't confirm off her hits too well. So it's not the end of the world getting hit by her. But again, you're trying to play around her, like her air buttons and whatnot, and her 9-frame far slash. A lot of times you're using 6P, so then you end up getting counter hit by this sometimes, and the round is just done. Like you just lose. So the numbers are fine, but when she gets the right hit, like the numbers are terrible. I mean, she just kills you. Zato also is not that great at dealing with this. No reversal, right? So pretty hard to deal with this once he's in it. And obviously when he lower HP, so when she hits you in this, like you're just dying. She has a gun super. What is the input? Oh, I don't know what the input is for the gun super.
I have no idea.
Oh wait, I think it's a double. Is that it? No. Okay, well, I cannot find the input for the gun super, but she has a full screen super, kind of like Bridget, so it's always good to have for Zato to get Eddie out the way at times. I wouldn't say it's as good as Bridget's super, but it's still pretty good. The last thing I can think of for this match, okay, so 2 more things. Round start it's fine, so it's not end of the world. A lot of times when she does far slash, Zato can trade with it with 2P. This has some good use round start, but the round start for the most part is fine. The part that annoys me the most, so okay, Zato's command grab is very bad. The Oki on it is pretty poor, and a lot of the times, so in this situation, you're only +7. So you're not plus enough to do like meaty drills or anything. So in this situation, when we're just standing here, like in this situation, we'd be like right here, like come a little closer. So post command grab situation, we're like at this range, right? And Zato's +7. So he can't go into drills because it's fake, so it could just get mashed on wake up by actually like a far slash. So you can't do that. So you have to play around her parry on your own offense as like when you just want to do like projectile Oki. Obviously, by what I mean by that is just setting Eddie up, but you can't because it's fake. But you can't press a button because you get parried. So it's just RPS, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. This situation right here, it's just the risk reward is not. It's just not fun. But yeah, that's anything you want to add on. I think that's kind of everything.
ID back to Tommy is like pretty good. Like
oh my yes. Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
What is that? This.
Yeah, like that. So if I can try to like send him in, like it's like kind of annoying. It's like, you know, she can like obviously kill Eddie. I well, you said that like, you know, he's like this situation with like your parry like annoying, but like other than that, I'd say he's like pretty like it's not like the end of the world like the parry because like you can like do a few things. Like obviously you can meaty you with like a projectile after like, you know, hard knockdowns and stuff like that. And you can also like delay like, you know, meaties and stuff. So like usually this doesn't like IP doesn't like anti-air here, right? Yeah. So you can like, you know, delay your meaties and stuff. So that's like pretty nice.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Tatami is definitely hard to deal with. Right, this happens a lot. She's good at killing Eddie, but most Baikens kind of just ram their face and just gotta go, oh, I gotta just, you know, do this and whatnot. And then they'll lose and they complain. But, you know, mixing up between Tatami and being aggressive, right? Very good. Yeah, you're, again, projectile Oki, so on, like, knockdowns, you usually don't have to deal with the parry, which is very blessed. Again, I feel like this is a matchup Zato should win. Like, he should do well in a Baiken, but he doesn't. It's one of the better losing matchups, but it's still not, like, great. It's definitely annoying to play, because Baiken can just really okie-dokie you in the rob. But, oh, and, sorry, the super. This. Wait. The reversal super. This. It's the same. It reminds me a little of Mortabato. It's a highest damage super. I believe it's like the highest damage super. Right, like, it's, yeah. Not fun. But yeah, overall that's pretty it. She's pretty straightforward as well. Kabari, jump-ins, parry, yeah, the whole shebang. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of Sin, and me and Poncho have definitely played before, and obviously he's fought in other Sins, such as the one whose name I will not mention, and some other Sins as well, and obviously I've played the matchup as Zato as well. So I'll let him talk about it, and then I'll speak on it. So, what do you think of this matchup?
So the neutral's definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
So like Beak used to be, it still is pretty good. Like usually it's like you want to like stuff out like Eddie and stuff.
Yeah.
And like there was like basically no consequence for him just doing this because like your reward on like really counter hit was like not good. But like now you can like, you know, get a full combo, which is like really big.
Yeah.
His DP is really good defensively. I don't want to say why, but like it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's better than like a lot of DPs because it's like so huge.
Yeah.
You can like interrupt a lot of like strings and whatever.
Yeah.
Far Slash is kind of annoying to deal with. Yeah, that one. 2S is obviously really good. His air-to-airs are actually not that good for Zato, so like, trying to like air him like that is like pretty annoying. But his 6P is pretty good, like at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sin has so Sin has slower buttons, so this is a standard. It's obviously doesn't look standard because it goes so far, but in terms of speed, it's standard. So it's 11 frames. So Zato has a 10 framer, so it's again Sin's Far Slash, despite being slower, is obviously better than Zato's. Like there's no debate. I don't need to like give a rundown on why Zato's Far Slash is worse. But yeah, Zato's Far Slash is definitely worse. And then the 2S is obviously very good, but it is slower. So the fact that they made Zato's numbers better by giving him better confirms off his counter hits with S normals when Eddie is alive is very good. So before, a lot of the times you would stuff Sin. So let's say I do Far Slash and then he presses 2S. Since I'm standing, there used to be no reward here, right? You used to just get Invite Hell and then boom, that was it. But if Sin hit you, right, like counter hit, like if you were to mash throw, like if Sin hits you, right, the risk reward was, and that was like damn near mid screen, right? Like the risk reward was pretty horrible. So now the fact that Zato gets a whole combo is right. So the fact that Zato gets that now makes it a little more of an even playing field in terms of neutral. Obviously, this is still good, and sadly, just getting hit by Eddie doesn't really matter too much. Like, if he were to do Eddie and I just, like, if you were to let drills go, right? Like, if I get stuffed, who cares? I'm gonna come down, do it again, because if I hit you, then the reward for me hitting you is a lot bigger than, a lot of times, than you hitting me. So yeah, Sin isn't great at dealing with flight, and his errors are kind of bad for Zato as well. A lot of his air confirms are pretty inconsistent. This 6P is good in neutral, but again, just anti-airing it, like there's kind of a dead zone. I'll put the hitbox on the screen. Kind of a dead zone to it, and the 5P also isn't that great at anti-airing as well. Not as good as you would think it would be. So yeah, but the DP is huge, and it's really hard to play around. So yeah, Zato being able to take advantage of Sin's slower buttons due to having better numbers off like when he's right is good. The biggest thing or one of the biggest things is, so before, if you were to put Eddie out on the screen, like just put Eddie, if Sin were to DP Eddie, oh my god, yep, okay. So okay, so before the most recent patch. Obviously, with the removal of DPRC, Sin lost DPRC, and he also lost the ability to do any of the follow-ups on block. So if you block, I'm stuck. When I land, I cannot press. There's nothing I can do, right? No follow-up to be done. Now, so before, if you put out Eddie, just put him in just put Eddie like in the middle of the screen. So if you so before, we would play at a range where you would send out Eddie, and then Zato would be in this situation where he's far, so he has to guess if he wants to run up and do something, but if he would run up and press a button, he gets stuffed by the follow-up. Or, like, if he's not ready for it, thinking Sin's gonna do the follow-up, then he just gets, Sin does the gazelle step after the DP and throws you. So it's just some weird, unfavorable, super cringe RPS. That thankfully Zato doesn't have to play around anymore, and Zato is the worst character at punishing DPs. So it still exists that like the DP is still very good because it hits so far that Zato is still like worried about the DP, especially on his own Oki. But at least you can get better punishes on it now, I guess. So it's just yeah, it's good, but it's not. It's not a neutral tool that kills Zato anymore, which is blessed. Oh my gosh, it was actually the best thing they've ever done. But yes, the numbers, again, Sin hits you and like, it hurts. The neutral is more around the evenish state. So yeah, it's I'd say it's just numbers-wise, Sin wins, and having a DP, again, if you have a DP, Zato loses by default, especially to Sin. So I'd say it's just Sin wins, but it's nothing crazy. It's unironically went from one of Zato's worst matchups, like really shitty matchups, to like fine, but losing. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand with it. Okay, ABBA. I'll start off by saying this. I've played this matchup a lot. I don't care what anybody says. This matchup is so garbage. It's arguably top 5 Zato worse. It might be top 3. This matchup is so garbage. Okay, so let me start off. Okay, so to start off in normal mode. Okay, so I'm not even talking about jealousy yet. Zato, again, it's the same problem as dealing with Slayer's 2H in a way. So Zato has no, he can't use forward slash is not good. You can't use it in neutral. So you're relying on 2S. But then you press 2S, and this happens to you. And you guys have all seen the clip of me getting 2-touched and fucking round broken off, round start off, counter hit this. This button, this move just invalidates 2S. So you can't press forward slash. You can't press 2S. So what do you press? You can't press. So you're relying on Eddie. But due to the Eddie nerfs, he's gone most of the time. And with Eddie being a projectile, that means that she can just parry him. And obviously, when ABBA parries a projectile, she gets, her meter fills up. So if you send out Eddie, right, that happens. And look how much I got from that one little interaction, right? Again, not even talking about jealousy yet. So then you have, she has a 10 frame far slash, which I don't know why it's 10 frames. It doesn't really go too far, but still the fact that it's 10 frames is pretty good. She has 5H, which is, I don't know why she has this button in normal mode, but if you try to do drills, a lot of the times this 5H will just stuff Zato. So if you do drills, yep, that's one. Right, this happens a lot. It's just not fun to play around. 5H is broken versus Zato. The hop is broken versus Zato. Even on block, so if you block the hop move, Zato has a 6-framer, 2P, and her 2P is 4 frames. So this happens. Yeah, a lot of times you kind of have to default into 5P. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right. So not much you can do there. So the hop, broken versus Zato. The neutral, scary. You can't send out Eddie too much because again she could parry it and get her jealousy. 5H was good at dealing with Eddie on the screen. You can't fly versus him because she gets this. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then I don't know the combo, but the reward off it is just infinite, and you just lose the game. So yeah, everything she has is just good. I mean, this dash doesn't really matter too much now because again I'm not talking about jealousy. The dash gets better with jealousy, but I mean this move broken, this move broken, this move broken. 4-framer, so good at dealing with Eddie and pressure as well. Broken. I mean, dude, it's so much. Now we can talk about jealousy. Okay, so to start, this becomes 9 frames, right? Zato's far slash is 10, and it's just way better than yours. I mean, look at the recovery, like, bro, right? The risk reward becomes even worse. The flight becomes way worse because this is, I don't know what they were thinking with this, but, oh, there we go. So, here we go. You can't fly, right? Not at all. You get hit, you get counter hit, the game is over. The damage, again, the risk reward becomes terrible. The dash, so, okay, if you use Eddie, so if you do, like, if you move him forward and do drills. Yeah, situations like this happen, and then you're just minus and you lose. She has this super, which Zato can... Oh, wait, not that. What's the, Oh, there it is. So, this super, Zato cannot fly over and avoid this super at all. So when she does this, you're kind of just jailed. Which, to be fair, most characters are, but, you know. Yeah. Let's see. Verse Abba. Okay, so when she's in jealousy, when Eddie is dead, the neutral is probably the one of the worst neutrals like in the game by far. Again, you don't have any button to contest her. You can't contest her with anything. The hop, this goes over your normals, so you can't use this. Goes over summons as well. Her air movement is very good, so you try to summon, and this just happens to you. So even when you do drills, situations like that. Oh wait, do drills, situations like that happen a lot. She doesn't care too much about a pose, and even when you unsummon, you would think that so you can't unsummon versus her because when she's in this range, so you do drills, she takes advantage of the space so well that unsummoning becomes an issue. So you can't unsummon versus the character, and even when you do, so let's say she gets clipped. So you use drills, she gets clipped by drills. She gets out of it, she refunds it, waits for you, gets closer, then uses it again. Combo, you go into this, you loop it, right? Like, the game is, it's just, you can't play the game at any point of the screen. Zato has lower HP, so, I mean, any hit just, like... I don't even know the combo, but those 3 hits just did, like, 50%. Yeah, I mean... There is literally no interaction point for Zato in the game, like, in this shit. Like, what can Zato do? Like, he can't do anything. I mean, you get clipped by, let's say this. Oh. See if I even know the combo. Oh. Right, and then you super and Zato just lost 70% of his HP. So yeah, the risk reward, the numbers are horrible. You're not hitting her with 2S, and you're not hitting her with far slash, so you're just kind of like praying she runs in like to invite hell and like in normal mode and stuff. She has a dash block, which is really, it's not great, but it's good versus some Zato situations as well. I already mentioned the 4-framer. Can't fly, you can't play neutral, the risk reward is trash, and Jealousy Zato versus Abba is actually like the worst matchup I've ever played in my life. Yeah, no, this matchup is terrible. It is horrid. Yeah, anything you have to add on to it, or did that kind of just cover everything?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, this matchup is ass. The Abba players say it's not that bad. Some Zato players think it may not be that bad. This matchup, I think Abba players are like the worst breed. Like, they actually just get filtered. They're like not that great. No, this matchup is jokes. Okay, so Johnny, I'll let you start off with this one because I think we have different opinions on this matchup.
Okay, so first of all, K-Miss Fighter is like, it's not like good at like killing Eddie. I think S-Miss Fighter is actually more annoying to deal with because like, yeah, that'll like kill Eddie. But A-Miss Fighter is better at like calling out Eddie summons like that, and obviously, you know, the reward is like 10 times better. And also like, you know, Drunkard Shade, that's like also another good use for it. Something that is actually not good for Johnny is that he doesn't have a dash block, so his like defense is like way worse, like than most of the cast. He used to get like filtered out by just like, you know, this shit, but now he has a dash jump, so that's not like as big of a problem. Close slash is like broken. You can't like fucking fly in, or anything you do, then or if you get hit, then like you die. Yeah. He's like just shitting out damage. He has high health for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, like, you know, you're gonna like take more hits to kill him. You're checking his dash, like, but like with normals that are like this shit has like no reward. Yeah. This has like no reward. Your normal, like, his bar slash is like broken. Yeah, I mean, like, it's also you can't play Eddie footsies with him because, like, you know, K-Miss Fighter goes like Eddie can low profile under K-Miss Fighter, right? So you can like actually punish him for like doing it. Also, oppose is pretty good.
Yeah.
If you want to like, so like usually, depending on the range, you can like only do pierce. But if you're like close enough, you can punish like frog or whatever if they like do misfire into it. So yeah, that's pretty nice. But like yeah, your reward for punishing misfire is also just like bad.
Yeah.
Or you might not even get a punish sometimes.
Yeah.
That's like any of any meaning. So
Yeah.
that's like really annoying. Yeah, I mean, like that, I don't know. It's like pretty bad.
Yeah, KMF is good at calling out your summons. It's like it's like H Kabari, but not as good as on block, but better, I guess, on distance. The issue is, so like you said, you want to play from oppose a lot of the times because you can go under Mistfinder with just Eddie footsies, but you kind of want to play from oppose because you do. If he does do KMF into oppose, then you can kind of start your turn, whether it's with Pierce or Frog, depending on the distance. SMF and 2S are very good low pokes at dealing with Eddie. Obviously, I think more SMF. The 2S is good, but again, the SMF is just really annoying to deal with. So I guess every Mistfinder has an application to use. Even sometimes this, which is surprising considering how much it's not used. Like in the corner, if Zato's trying to fly, like situations like this could be. Oh, I just missed the card entirely. If Zato's trying to fly, then situations like this are very good, right? Obviously, Zato is lower HP, so when shit like this happens, right, you kind of just like. Right, you kind of just die a lot of the times. Johnny, I don't think he's a character that does like. I don't think he does push. I don't think he like. Just shits out damage, but I think for Zato it feels like that. Obviously for some of the characters, he definitely takes more hits. High HP, which is good. The dash, like you said, he doesn't have a dash block. So one advantage Zato does have is post-wire C situation for Johnny. It's not the greatest, just because again he doesn't really have a. Obviously the dash now is a little unreactable, so you can kind of get away with dashing, but it's just not the greatest. And he kind of just gets stuffed by 6P a lot, which obviously with this now being counter hit is very beneficial to him because you could probably get some things like, yeah, and then break the wall, whatever. So again, he's better now. Reward, the dash is better to kind of get around Eddie so that you have more frames before you just, you know. The dash being 15 instead of 18 is obviously better because you can take more space without getting hit by certain things. So again, better versus Eddie, which is good. But yeah, like Zato, when he gets hit, he feels it by Johnny. It's the same thing with Leo. Like they complain about lower damage, but versus Zato, like that doesn't really matter. No reversal as well, so Johnny doesn't have to deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Every application of Mistfinder, every Mistfinder is used for Zato, so yeah, it's pretty much it. Not the end of the world matchup, but I just think it's pretty bad. I am biased. I hate Johnny. I hate fighting him, but so yeah, we'll rank him later. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pendone playing this matchup.
Yeah, this matchup. I think this matchup is okay. So I remember listening to Tene talk about this matchup, and again, he just said. Like, the neutral is unplayable, but once you get in, Testament kind of just loses. I disagree with that, but I see where he's coming from. Me and Poncho have both played this matchup quite a bit. Shout out to Faxi, but I guess I'll let you start.
Well, Arbiter, or yeah, that shit is like really good at like calling out like your summons, right? And like especially like your back cancels, like from like pose or whatever. Like that's really annoying to deal with. So like usually like left with like having to like just like let a pose stay out or whatever, and, like punish or whatever. So and like usually I mean like Eddie's gonna like usually like, die by the time you get it, whatever. So that's like annoying. Brave Reaper is like kind of broken in neutral. I'm not gonna lie. It like yeah, it like it's really annoying to deal with. Yeah, like so shit like that will happen. Invite Hell is like not that great at dealing with it, to be honest. Their anti-airs are really good. Obviously, the 6P is really good. They also have like good air-to-airs with like JD. I think JH, or the JS. Yeah, one of them.
JS.
Yeah, those are really good. On block, like so, like usually most of the time, most characters can like they'll like So like do like far slash and like I think it's a H Brave Reaper. Oh no, it's S. So usually like most characters can punish this, right? With like a ID button. Zato can't like get like a punish here. So like the risk reward is like a lot worse.
Yeah.
Than like compared to like most characters. They do have like, you know, the super kind of like Ram where it's like, you know, pretty big. So like you can like call out like buttons and like come in or whatever. I think it's double critical forward. S or whatever.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Or okay. Yeah, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like pretty annoying. They don't like kill you like when they hit you, which is nice unless like they get wild soul.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of just like left with like dash blocking, eventually super jumping, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. One of the other gripes with this matchup is Testament's runaway is too strong for Zato.
Yeah.
Again, like the backdash is broken to the point where you're like running as fast as Testament can like backdash. Like it actually feels like you're moving slower than the character. And then even then, I don't know what the exact input for it is, but there it is, the teleport. Zato just cannot deal. Oh man, he can't deal with this too well, right? Teleport, and then you're back in it. He has nothing that kind of just skips, like just makes Testament like. He has nothing to just get Testament out of the way. Arbiter going full screen is so broken for Zato and like characters like Asuka and whatnot. So you're kind of just relying on yourself and normals, but like Zato, yo, he just cannot get past this, man. Like this far slash alone is just a stop sign. When he's trying to run up on you, like it goes too far. It's really good. Yeah, Stain. Obviously, Zato. It feels like he gets Stain more than most characters, but maybe I'm tripping with that. But it's just hard to deal with because then it starts becoming like the hits that they get just become like I don't know, just they feel so. They start chunking, like the hits start actually hurting when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just not fun. I feel like Zato is just weaker to Stain again. Like I feel like he's more prone to get hit trying to approach while it's on than most characters. He doesn't have a safe way to just get Testament off the way. He doesn't have like a Johnny Card super as Amorphous is just slower and it takes longer to go on the screen, obviously. So he just recovers more. Sorry, they recover more quickly than to block the Amorphous than if I were to do like Asuka super or Johnny Card super or Bridget super or whatnot. Yeah, no, the neutral is unplayable. Like I truly think this neutral is like it's not as there's definitely some worse neutral, and that's why Zato is a terrible character. But yeah, no, the neutral's just not fun to play, and unironically the risk reward. I can't believe they're gonna buff this character in the upcoming days. Like Testament buffed is like if Zato don't get like the sub buffs, like it's gonna be dude.
A timeline where Testament's broken, it's like the worst timeline.
Yeah, no. I think they're very underrated now, as it is. But I want to see what happens with the match. But yeah, no, I think this matchup is. I think Zato players put it like. I think there's some Zato players that will kind of just put it lower because, like, in terms like it's not that bad because they also believe the propaganda of Testament is some bottom 2 character. I think this matchup sucks, but it's not the end of the world bad. I think that I have to get better at it as a player, but it feels, at what point does it stop becoming, I have to get better at it, and it's, oh, yo, this matchup is just terrible. But yeah, there's definitely worse, but yeah, this matchup is pretty bad. Okay, Jacko. I'll let Poncho's been playing this matchup obviously more than me, as I play Asuka for it, so I'll let him take it away.
So first, oppose is like really good. So like usually, like a common interaction that'll happen is like just like throw the minion or whatever.
Oh.
Like usually they're like throw the minion and then they'll like whistle or whatever it is, whatever fuck. Or what is like the attack?
Oh, the minion kick?
Yeah, that one. So like usually like this will happen, right? Or like they'll just like throw the minion.
How do you throw the fucking minion?
I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, wait, we're learning. Oh, wait, the command list is literally right here.
So okay, basically what happens is that like you do a pose and they throw the minion on the oppose, and if you try to clap cancel, then like the Eddie will die. So usually what you want to do is you want to like throw Eddie out far enough for like the minion land on the oppose like this, right?
Yeah.
So like just like try to throw the minion out.
Pick it up. Oh, you have to be holding it. Okay, I see. Okay.
You just like run back with it. Okay, so usually what happens is okay, as soon as you throw it, just like do like the attack command.
And the attack command is there we go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So pick it up. And then.
So okay, usually Eddie will die here. So what you have to do is you need to move Eddie far enough to whether it like the minion gets caught by the opposed, and you're like far apart from like Eddie and the minion, so you can like move Eddie forward, right? So like,
if I pick him up, there,
like this.
Yeah.
Basically, that'll happen, right? Or you can delay your clap cancels. So like this, right? And like if they do it right away, then the minion will die. The only issue is that like Jacko kind of like wins in this war.
Yeah.
And the consequences for Eddie dying is like far greater than like a minion dying, right?
Yeah.
Drills is also pretty good. Like setting up drills like mid-screen is like good for like clearing out minions and stuff. And also something that I should probably start doing more is like killing minions with Drunkard and then sending out Eddie at the same time. So like, well, I can't get it to work, but
Yeah.
Flight is good for killing minions. Also, like with the JH, the JP, you don't want to like. Well, flying in on Jacko is kind of annoying. Like for 2S, it's like pretty big. So like, so that's pretty annoying. So you kind of want to like get it like at an angle like this or whatever, where it's like whatever.
Yeah.
The defend command is pretty annoying as well when you're like trying to like clear out the minions. Because like the reward is like a lot better now compared to like before. Trying to think. Your defense is obviously really bad.
Yeah.
Burst is pretty big because it's like a lot better now, right? Because if you get like a 2K2D knockdown and you like summon Eddie, you're not gonna like auto lose, right?
Yeah.
So you can at least summon Eddie. Yeah. Well. So like, you won't like auto lose, but like you have to like play this neutral game, which is like kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Yeah. One thing Zato I think does well is he actually boxes Jacko in pretty well. So for example, in this situation after Invite Hell, the only thing she could really do here is commit with 2D, but like she doesn't have like the normals to like really like contest Zato without just committing to like this or like this. So a lot of the times Jacko will do like dash and kind of have to like dash block her way out, where Zato is pretty good at RPSing like what she's gonna do and how to like stop it and stuff her. So that part is pretty good, but everything, I think every other... One thing I do as well is when a minion is out, I actually do, so I'll do empty summon, and then I'll do, just frog. And the frog will sometimes clip the... Wait, how do I summon this one? Okay, so... Wait, and then I pick it up. Oh, wait. Okay. Wait, how do... Oh, okay, so I pick it up, and then I can throw it, so then it'll look like... I'll wait till I pick it up, and then I just... Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm trying to throw him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a lot of the frog, what I'm trying to say is the frog will actually end up eating the minion and then, like, making her block, which is good. So it has, like, frog and drills. There's some situations, but she also has good answers at just kind of getting certain things out the way. So they both have answers to each other. Jacko just has better answers. And at the end of the day, I also think Zato he's pretty bad at dealing with this move. This move is really hard to get around, especially when you have Eddie out or you're just trying to approach in general. So yeah, not a great matchup. Maybe not as bad as some people say, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, they're both they, I don't know, they're both trying to do the same thing, I guess, at times, so it's just, you know, yeah, pretty much it. Nago. So, this matchup is weird, because at one point, Zato used to destroy this character. Now, not so much. Nago definitely wins. I guess the first thing is, White Wall Assault on Nago is probably the worst, just because, like, this situation isn't throwable, but the fact behind that is it's now minus, which is bless up. Before, as Zato, you would have to block more, and, you know, any hit would just kill you. So the fact that you don't have to, you know, gamble your life anymore is definitely good, but that's universal. The White Wall Assault in general, though, like, if you're trying to summon, sometimes it can be good just to go through some shit and get rid of Eddie, right? You know, the round start, Zato has a 10 frame, so he can beat the Shizu, I believe is what it's called, round start. The neutral is weird. So, okay, the neutral is, okay, so obviously he has clone, right? But Zato can do things like a pose and kind of, like, make Nago not just be brainless, like, for what he's doing, right? Like, I guess there is some thought, because, you know, if you do this, right, and you do this, right, you can get clipped, and then you're now in higher blood, and then you're blocking, and now Zato is doing more damage to you, due to the blood gauge affecting Nago's HP. You know, obviously, my issues with this matchup are, so, Nago, when he gets a hit in, the samurai mix, right? So, okay, Nago obviously does a lot of damage, and Zato has lower HP. So once he gets to around, like, this HP where Zato is now, he just does, like, the samurai mix bullshit, right? And he hits you once, and then off that hit, he's killing you. So, if I actually end up doing it correctly, so let's say he does. Oh my gosh! Like, this dude's a demon. Okay, but yeah, basically you get a hit. Basically, you get a hit, and then you go into super, and then, like, Zato just dies. So less hits needed, and the samurai mix becomes more of an actual, like, thing due to only needing that one more hit. Nago at the end of the day still has 4 guts, so even with higher blood, meaning less HP, he still tanks a lot of Zato's hits due to the guts kicking in at lower HP. The neutral itself isn't even bad. A lot of Nago players just play stupid, so you're able to actually make it look like Zato can beat this character. But due to numbers and, like, better Nago players kind of figuring out this matchup, like, it definitely is very hard to play. Yeah. Anything you can think of?
Close slash, like, really good anti-air.
Yeah.
So, like, that's, like, really good for, like, dealing with flight. Because, like, usually you want to, like, escape the corner with flight.
Yeah.
JD is also really good. And, like, if you're, like, trying to super jump out or whatever, JD's really good at that. Something about White Wall Assault last patch that was really good is that it was, like, a pressure reset. And then also you're, like, lowering your blood at the same time, which is, like, pretty big.
Yeah.
For Nago. And when Nago is at high blood, you have to, like, stall him out. Like, you know, twice as long now, depending, like, if, like, Eddie dies, right, you have to, like, stall him out. And, like, you know, that's, like, not, like, a stable game plan.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's, like, everything's worse. The counter hit normals thing is pretty good, though.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and, again, the flight nerfs hurt, so, again, if you're like Pep, so Pep doesn't use flight, like, in this matchup like that, but I know, like, I do personally, and the flight being worse is definitely sucky because you're more likely to get clipped by stuff like this, or, you know, follow him and get close slash or 6 speed or whatnot. So, flight nerf definitely hurts, and White Wall Assault, again, while Nago doesn't use it well on offense anymore, Zato as a character, when Nago's at higher blood, you know, you're spamming a lot of invite hell and whatnot, right? You're kind of letting the invite hells go, and the fact that he can just go, oh, oop-de-doop, you know, and, like, now, like, the game is, like, cooked. You know, it's definitely a lot harder than it used to be, like, before Season 3, but, it's definitely losing. I don't think it's, like, horrid bad, but I just think it's a losing. There's definitely better matchups, but there's definitely worse matchups. So, yeah. Millia. Okay, Millia. Starting off, like I said, fast means good versus Zato. So like I said with Chipp, good. Or like I will say with Chipp coming up, fast is good. The issue is, as well, so the same issues with Leo, the same issue with Gio, and some other characters is they're playing at a range where they're trying to whiff punish you and take advantage, take advantage of your width. Obviously, due to worse P-normals, you're not using P-normals, and you can't use your S and H normals and neutral versus a character like this. So you're relying on 2K, and a lot of times when Millia will overextend, you go to do 2K 2D, but it doesn't work. So we're playing neutral, oh, I run in, and then next thing you know, I'm cooked. My 2D doesn't work, and that's the game. So it's just inconsistent at playing. Like the neutral is just pretty bad. Inconsistent confirms. 9-frame far slash, which is very good. Second fastest character in the game. So yeah, again, you can't really summon. And then this bullshit, right? The risk reward is just really bad in this matchup, unironically. Millia does die when you get her grounded and stuff, but it's kind of hard to do that just because to get her to block, you have to obviously get drills on her and whatnot, which is hard because Zato is bad at keeping Millia in her pressure because her jump, the pre-jump is just so good. So a lot of times you go to you try to jail her down and then she jumps and she's suddenly out of your pressure. So you can't keep her pinned down in your pressure. The neutral is very hard to play. She's very good at killing Eddie, so she is this, obviously she is this, she's very fast. So it's hard to summon in general because because once you unsummon, she's one of the characters again, once you unsummon, she's already in your face. So it's hard to have the neutral, keep it going. And then on top of that, she has a long 9-frame far slash, so, you summon, you unsummon, and then next thing you know, you just get clipped by this, and it's, not fun. Obviously, it's a little more bearable now since when she breaks the wall, she has to commit to super instead of doing blue wild assault and then saving the bar and then doing some bullshit 50-50 and then killing you off 2 hits. Now there's a little more gameplay going on, and I guess the game is more of a neutral based game now, but the neutral is already so horrible that it's dang, I kind of wish you would just kill me faster. Why am I having to stand on this screen? Yeah, I mean, Eddie isn't good at dealing with her when she's in the air. Again, she's great at getting out of your shit. She out-risk rewards Zato. He dies for being wrong, when trying to go and, challenge her in the air. His reward off air throw itself is weak. Unless Eddie is out. If Eddie's already out, he can obviously do a combo when he air throws you. Which is good, mainly in the corner, so if Eddie is already out, and let's say we're close to the corner, right, you can do that, but just the reward itself, if we're here and he air throws me without Eddie, come on, it's jokes. But if you're wrong and she hits you, right, depending on, if you get counter hit by this, I don't know the combo, but you're getting through the wall, or you're exploding, right? Yeah, it's not fun. Obviously, as well, Zato cannot. It would be very nice to bait Millia's burst to get her off the screen, but you can't do that anymore. So yeah, Millia is also known as a lower damage character, I guess, which is a myth. This bitch does so much damage, but even if she is known for being a lower damage character, I guess with the hits, off some hits, they do a lot more versus Zato, and he just gets disintegrated. So, overall, I don't think this matchup was good. I think it's still pretty bad. Definitely not as bad as it was. It might be. It's probably worse than it was last patch. But it's... actually, I don't know. It's probably whatever. I don't know. Not having blue wall so hard knockdown feels really bad versus Millia, but again, it's whatever. Yeah, this matchup is just not fun. The neutral is pretty bad. And she has a 4-framer. Sorry to throw that in late, but she's a 4-framer. So 4-framer means good versus Eddie pressure in general, on top of having great dash block and speed. And on top of that, you can't fly versus her because her close slash is one of the best things at dealing with Zato in the air in the game. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that was everything, right?
One thing I'll mention is her JP is like broken for reasons I'm not gonna mention why, but just know it's like actually like it's really annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leak what or like what reasons it's good for, but it just know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Gotta go lab that shit yourself, bruh. Okay, Chipp, I'll let Poncho start off with this one.
So first of all, the round start is like really bad because like Far Slash actually just like shuts down like, everything. Like he catches your jump, he catches your walk back, he catches your S normals, K normals, whatever. The only thing you can do is like 5P, backdash, or 6P, which is like only really backdash is like honestly a good like you know like a good option because like if they do like you know like 5H or whatever like 2D. Actually, this goes over 2D, but this gets smoked by 2D. The neutral's really bad. He's really fast, so that's really bad. The neutral, like you know, you can't like outfoot him. You have to be like really preemptive. You're like constantly whiffing into like just like praying that he just like runs into your shit.
Yeah.
He's got godlike or like you know 5P is godlike. Your anti-airs are terrible. Like sometimes like you'll actually like either this will get countered here or he'll just like safe jump in. Like if you're too late.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Your defense is bad, like so like I guess like Mecha is like really annoying because like your reward isn't good. Because like usually like Chipp players complain about like oh you know like I don't have like counter hit records anymore, but my reward isn't good. And like if they're right, they like get to explode me. But that's not that big of a problem versus Zato. Gamma Blade is broken because like what the fuck is like bro like Chipp does not care if he gets hit like out of his Gamma Blade. He's fast. He triple jump, right? So he's like good at like catching Eddie, or not Eddie, but you know, fucking Zato in the air. What else? IP is obviously worse now, like in neutral because of the speed nerf. 5H, Chipp's 5H is like broken, and his force slash is like there's like sometimes where like you like try to jump away, like if you like wait for normal, you like try to jump away, you know, his far slash would like catch your jump startups or whatever. So that's like pretty annoying. But yeah, it's like matchups is bad. Like like the neutral is terrible. Your defense is like bad. He also is like he's like just like bro. He's like always breaking the wall because like the bottom sword is like broken. Yeah, it's like just bad.
How do you get the? Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. To add in, so I forgot to mention with Millia. But the backdash catch again. Zato cannot catch backdash. He is so bad at catching backdashes. You know, so it's just you can't catch him. Especially a lot of times. I swear, there's so many times I'll like set up drills and the Chipp player just does this, and I'm like, yo, like please, bro, like you can't catch him. And then on top of that, like Millia, like I said, Chipp is playing the range where he wants to whiff punish you, and you know the 2K 2D just does not work. So, you know, you go to do 2K, and then you just get smoked. So yeah, not, like Poncho said, everything is just bad. Chipp hurts, like, he does damage versus Zato, which he shouldn't be, most Chipp players are like, oh, I can't hurt X character, because, you know, my character does no damage. Like, versus Zato, that does not matter. I swear Chipp be doing, like, 70% combos on me, like, it's, you know, yeah, no, neutral trash. You're terrible at, you know, defending him. He jumps out of your shit. He has a DP, which again, by default, Zato loses to all characters with DPs. No reward for actually punishing him. Especially Zato is terrible at dealing with this, right? Like, he just cannot deal with this at all. You can't fly versus Chipp. It's too hard to fly versus him because 5P is very good. 5H is broken and very hard to deal with as Zato, especially with the reward being so big. Definitely.
Oh, also, his dash block is like broken as well.
Broken as yes.
Yeah, like on defense, it's like really good.
So broken, so broken. But yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty obvious to just look at the screen and see why this matchup is bad. And to mention as well, like on top of Poncho saying already, he's a fast character. So once you summon and then you unsummon, he's already in your face. So you do this, boom, he's in your face, like, boom, right? Like, I could have pressed a button there and like, killed him for it. So it's hard to get anything going as Zato in this, right? Right, and then this happens, and now we're like, the game is over, like the game is dead. Yeah, not fun. This fella Soul. I guess I'll start off. Okay. The numbers are horrible. The numbers are very bad. For example, what I mean by that, if Soul hits you, right, like, I don't know Soul combos, but he just fucking kills you. Like, he just kills you. Him hitting you is a lot more scary than you hitting him, obviously. He is a DP, so again, by default, he already beats Zato. He has a DP. Let's see. Yeah, so like shit like this. Oh, I'm not even trying to embarrass myself and do the combo. But yeah, so a lot of damage, obviously. The neutral, okay, so obviously this move is broken, but I guess the button Zato presses doesn't, like, he doesn't have to deal with this as much as other characters, I guess. But it's still, regardless, still broken. He has this, again, Zato 6P is not the greatest anti-air, so he kind of struggles at hitting this out a lot of times, and if you get counter hit by this, like, dog, you actually just die. Like, I was fighting a Soul player one time, and I went to 6P this or something, I got counter hit, and I actually just, like, I lost it, like, the game, I lost, like, it was dead. Yeah, you just get exploded, the risk reward, the numbers are terrible. The neutral, again, the neutral is, okay, so Soul actually, he doesn't have, like, the greatest, like, okay, if you do drills, obviously he can do stuff like he can try to do some stuff like this, and, like, kind of, like, get over it. Like, there's some different spaces he can try to, like, or timings, I guess he can try to get over it, but overall, Soul doesn't have, like, if Soul did, like, a lot less damage, Zato would actually, like, the neutral, Soul doesn't have the greatest options at, like, dealing with Eddie. Like, he doesn't really, like, I mean, this is kind of your best bet at, like, trying to snipe through drills and, like, kill Eddie. Like, he doesn't have, like, a typical far slash, right? Obviously, it's more pressure-based. He doesn't have, like, a typical, like, 2S doesn't, like, go, like, extremely as far. And your 5P, yeah, like, yeah. It's, the neutral is definitely, it should be Zato favored, but the numbers just make it Soul favored in neutral. And then obviously on defense, he has a DP, he has a 3-framer, he has this, which is good at calling out, so, like, if you summon off 2P, for example, so. Oh. Oh, wait, unless you want to lie? There we go, yeah. So again, he has some answers for his shit. 3-framer, DP, 6H is good. Obviously, he has a dash block, which, I mean, like characters like Johnny Doe. 2D is good. Damage, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything you want to add?
That's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward character. It's just the numbers are pretty bad. If Soul didn't have such crazy numbers, Zato would actually win the neutral. And it would be a lot more, like, we could actually talk about, like, how Zato can fight Soul instead of just saying it's losing, but Soul is just so overtuned that, like, bro, like, especially when Zato gets him to block, bro, like, or, like, when Soul gets Zato to block, like, it's just, like, yeah, Zato is, the P normal nerf definitely hurt as well, but, yeah, pretty simple, straightforward matchup. Me and Poncho have both played this matchup a lot, so I guess I'll start. Okay, so off the bat, okay, this button is hard to deal with at times. Obviously, you're meant to use 5P versus it a lot of the times, and like 6P, but due to the 5P nerfs, it's definitely harder. The risk reward is pretty terrible a lot of the times. Due to him having a 10-frame forward slash, it doesn't feel like your normals can kind of go. You're like, the counter hit reward of like 2S and far slash don't seem as like prevalent, just because it doesn't seem like you're ever really stuffing Kai's buttons and counter hitting him. At least good Kai's. He has a fireball which Zato can deflect on like Leo's back at him. This is good, but to be honest, I think the air version is better for Zato. Again, like Zato is fine at dealing with the fireball. It's not the issue. The issue is if you use it right once and you kill Eddie, then it's so much in your favor that like it becomes good. So alone the fireball is not great, but if it does its job, then it's like really good. And CSC is really never used because you can just deflect it back at him. When Kai gets meter, you cannot play the game because then this just becomes a thing, right? Right, so nothing you do can really like, you don't really have an answer for this. So when Kai gets 50, you kind of just have to like, down back and block and let Kai take his turn. And just like, you know, block this and then be ready for the situation afterwards. JS, broken, good at hitting Zato out of the air. Kai has goated 6P. I mean, this is arguably like top 3 6P in the game. JS is good. JP is good as well. JH is a good jump in for like calling out like Invite Hell. He has yeah, I mean, Far Slash, Dipper, Fireballs, pretty standard. The risk reward is pretty garbage. Again, you get hit by this, then like, oh. Yeah. So, yeah. And he is a DP, like I already mentioned before, he is a DP, so you know, like that means Zato loses by default. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Anything you can think of?
Not really.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Neutral is Kai's favored. He does more damage than you, and he has okay options at killing Eddie. It's just when he gets 50 bar, he becomes like really good at killing Eddie because not only does this, you know, forward advancing low, obviously, but it also goes through Eddie like at times. So. Oh yeah, and Eddie can trade with him as well. So it's just good. It's not like he's moving and then when he finishes the slide, the hitbox comes out. He's a moving hitbox the moment you do the slide, which is why it used to be so good when it was 5 frames at like being a defensive option. So yeah, overall Kai wins. It's not the end of the world. One of the bigger gripes I have as well, I forgot to mention, is Orange Wild Assault. Kai uses Orange Wild Assault so well, and to the point where like before like in a strings, like this was your like this is how you played. But since Orange Wild Assault exists, you do this and you can counter hit the Junker Chain, or like just Kai having quote unquote like bad offense. Like it gives him more chance to hit you where he does like soul numbers type damage. So, you know, you get hit and then like him taking his turn more against like the lowest, like one of the lowest health characters in the game is, while doing some of the highest damage in the game, is very good. Kai has good HP as well, so it takes a while for Zato to kill him. Yeah, overall Kai just wins, but it's pretty straightforward to why he wins. It's not like, you know, anything like crazy. Mei, yeah, there's just not much to talk about for this. Like everything Mei does is just good for Zato. Like there's not really like a yeah, I don't know. Like there's not much to talk about. She just kills you. Obviously Dolphin is very broken, but that's versus every character. Versus Zato, it's just even more broken. There's some situations where like if you do Pierce Drill in like a string, like she can just like Dolphin through it. Right? Obviously, I mean, the damage is insane. She's like one of the best characters that deal with flight because of her close slash. The normals kill Eddie easily. Like the normals are just broken. She has Orange Wild Assault. I don't know. Like people have seen Latif fight Slash, right? Like we've seen Mei versus Zato plenty of times in this lifespan. I don't think I need to really go over it. High HP, broken backdash. Everything she does is broken for Zato. I mean, that's I don't really know. That's kind of it. This matchup is weird. Okay, so First of all, if you play Ino and you think Zato does well, I think you're trash. Like, I think you're very bad, and if I have fought your Ino before, you probably have just lose. This matchup is bad. I don't like if you play Ino like and you think otherwise, like I promise you're just not good. Okay, so obviously Zato has trouble at dealing with the dive because his anti-airs. So if you try to 5p this, Zato doesn't really get like combos off this, which is one of the issues. He has a hard time just dealing with it in general. Yeah, not really a combo he gets compared to like other characters. Obviously you can 6p it, but sometimes you want to rely on your 5p doing it being faster. So Zato just 5p being garbage is, yeah, just not good. He has this, which is, I believe it's pretty active, good at killing Eddie as well. So yeah, that's one thing. This, yeah, Zato just stops all summoning. Zato is pretty bad at dealing with this move. It's good versus characters like Zato and like Asuka and whatnot. Yeah, you gotta run through it, but I mean, her normals are better than yours, and she is this, which is very good. This is good. It's kind of like Axel 2. So if you do like Pierce Frog in a block string, so oh, maybe I have to do the H. Yeah, there we go. Right. So that happens, and then obviously if you do Pierce Drill, actually no, I'm gonna let players figure this one out. But yeah, no, she has good options for RPS with Eddie, and obviously when if she is able to jump out of Zato's pressure, it's hard for Zato to jail her back down into the ground, due to her having options like dive out of the corner or whatever. This it's just hard to get her to back down to the ground. She has Orange Wall of Soul, which her Orange Wall of Soul is obviously the weakest it's been, but I don't know the combo, but basically off being correct, you just break the wall, which is very annoying, especially for Zato. Yeah, the dash, even when you check the dash, you don't get combos off it, which is very shitty. I don't know why, but most characters get like way better confirms. So again, she kind of just does what she does, and Zato has a hard time punishing it. It's just the numbers which are bad and how Zato works. He's just not meant to punish what Ino does, and that's the most unfortunate part. Yeah, this matchup it's not as bad as it used to be. I think it used to be like arguably top 5 worst, maybe at the start of season 3. But like now it's just like a bad matchup. It's not like Zato don't go even, he doesn't win it. He definitely loses it pretty badly. But if you like, again, I'm hearing rumors of like players saying this shit is like fine, like you're trash. you're like you're so garbage. Yeah, the pretty straightforward matchup, not much to talk about. But yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, Happy Chaos. I used to be once upon a time the GOAT at this matchup a while back, but I haven't played this shit. Poncho's definitely picking it up, so I will let him explain what he wants to about this matchup.
So first of all, the neutral is like pretty bad, right? So like Chaos 2S is like kind of broken, because like so a lot of it is just you're just dash blocking and then you're like just praying that like 2S hits, right? Which is a lot better now because like obviously you get like so. Basically, everything Chaos does is like counter hit state. So steady aim, he's gonna be in counter hit. Curse, he's like in counter hit, right? Yeah, clone, well, not much as clone, but like so everything he does, he's gonna be in counter hit state. So if you call out like a steady aim, so like hold on, so just like do steady aim, like you're gonna get a combo now. So that's like really good. I fucked it up, but the neutral's still pretty bad though. Like so, his back dash is like broken. Yeah, you're gonna have to like, you really have to like, and by the time, like if you're like at this distance, you're just gonna like press 5K and like check your dash, right? So like that's like pretty annoying. Yeah, the gun, obviously, you can't use Eddie like in neutral like most of the time, unless like they like do concentration. That's like the only time you really get him out, or you like burst them, right? So if you burst, you can summon Eddie and like get him out, like, and you have to like represent this, otherwise he's just gonna like quote unquote meaty you after his burst, or after your burst, I should say. You can't do this on his burst, but like if you even if you blue burst him, so like just hit me, like just try to like set it. Like you can you can punish him, right? Like just like hit me real quick. Yeah. So like if you steady aim immediately, that's like what every Chaos player does. They're like you're gonna steady aim into like curse shot and then like steady aim guard crush into concentration, whatever, right? That's like the autopilot thing. You can punish them, and by the time like once they like actually start like adapting to that, you can like start playing Eddie footies and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Your defense obviously is not good. Like DP, you kind of have to like rely on like mashing or like backdash, right? So like that's pretty annoying.
Yep.
Blue Water Soul nerf is annoying as well because it's like annoying like both ends because at least now you're like you're not gonna you're not gonna get like wall broken into like I'm gonna like lose this fucking ground now because I got like Blue Water Soul, right? But then also you want to stay on him because like the neutral's bad. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Zato, Happy Chaos is the character that the HC players complain about. He doesn't do a lot of damage, right? So the fact that, obviously Zato having lower HP, he feels like he's getting, like, exploded on some hits, which is not fun, especially with the character like Happy Chaos and it's easy to hit you anywhere on the screen. Fly is okay versus HC. Obviously, the gun is hit scan, but even on top of that, his 6P is pretty good at dealing with flight, and on top of that, he has 2K, so he can go into your JH. So situations like this,
his air to airs are also good because he's gonna like he's gonna wall break you.
Oh yeah.
And he's also just gonna like even if he jails you down, he's gonna like fucking 50-50 you, fuzzy you, whatever the fuck. Yeah,
right,
so that's also good. Also, his anti-airs are shit, so like JS and J2K are like broken versus him.
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude! So many times HC like will jump out try to jump out the corner, and then do this, and I can't fucking hit it, dude. Yeah. I mean, this matchup is always been pretty bad. Happy Chaos needs to get his bait. Like Zato needs the bait burst, but again, you can't do that anymore. Happy Chaos has good walk back and walk forward speed as well. So he's good at just being on the screen. 2K is broken. 2S, like you said, is broken. The round start is pretty even. So yeah. Well, do you think?
I the round start's even.
You think Happy Chaos wins or Zato wins the round start?
It's definitely Chaos. Because like either I'm like committing to catching your backdash or the curse.
Yeah.
Or, like praying that like like with 2D, like 2D loses to like actually I'm not gonna say whatever. They can figure it out.
They can figure it out. But yeah, catching Happy Chaos is hard for sure. So Bedman, I'll say this is arguably Zato's like only even matchup. One thing Tene pointed out is Bedman's super jump is it's not as high as Zato's, meaning it's hard for him to go in air to air you. So Zato can take advantage of fly for sure. Bedman does have a good 6B though, and obviously Zato can reflect Bedman's fireballs, so it's like this. Zato can also reflect everything Bedman does, so for example, he can reflect. He can not that, but he can not reflect the bomb head, but it just invalidate, like it just goes away. Yeah, like that. Everything else though, so once I do the Beyblade and like the follow-up, right, you can do that. The lightning as well, you can reflect. So you can reflect what he does, but if the Bedman player is good, then he can get around this. I'm personally not great at this matchup, but I'd say it's even. Bedman definitely has some tools as well. I guess worse, like not as good Bedman players, like will get filtered in this matchup. But I'd say it's around even. But at the end of the day, like, okay, he has White Wall Sword as well. At the end of the day, though, it's Bedman. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, who are we talking about Bedman when like Slayer exists, right? Like, Bedman is so irrelevant, it doesn't really matter. Won't really go too in this matchup, but Bedman definitely got some better confirms this patch as well. I know like they made something like this more consistent or something on like air hit or some shit, but you know, obviously this exists as well. Oh, it's that. This exists as a combo now as well. So again, I'll just say it's even. I know that this move is like broken now, and I know his air movement is better and whatnot, but yeah, it's even. Sure, let's just say it's even. We'll put a stamp on it. Okay, so Elphelt. Okay. The round start is fine because Elphelt has slower buttons actually, so Zato actually can play round start versus this character. Also, she has so she's fast, which is good for Zato. Fast is good. It's one of the faster characters in the game. So good, and they buffed her Far Slash recently to have better dash momentum off it. So that's only a buff. It goes extremely far. It's good situationally, like if Zato's trying to summon or something. It's good at like hitting him out of some things, it's good. She has a fireball, which again, it's not the. If it works, because again, like all you need to do is really kill Eddie once in some situations. So if you just get this gone. Like, if you just get Eddie out the way once, then, like, that's good. But in general, again, like, it's okay, I guess. And then, Elphelt players complain about her lower damage, but, you know, versus Zato, right, like... Is this something like that, right? She definitely hurts Zato a lot more than she would other characters due to his low damage, or lower health. She now has a 4-framer, which is good. Faster buttons are very good versus Zato and pressure. Either good dash block or faster normals, or you could just be like Chipp and Millia and say fuck you and have both. Good at hitting. This is a good 6P. This is a surprisingly good anti-air as well, which I don't think most people realize. Like if you were to go do flight, yeah, it definitely serves as it does its job. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, this character's pretty straightforward. It's just the Rekka shit, obviously. Just doing more damage for Zato while being a faster character is, yeah. Anything you have to add on to this? Or?
I mean, Zato's like the worst character in the game with dealing with like Rekkas.
Yeah.
Like, that's already like, you know, pretty bad.
Yeah.
Obviously 4 frames is good. I won't say why it's good, but like, you know, there's like applications that like makes it like really hard to know, or, like really annoying to deal with, like on your offense. The gun is like kind of annoying. It's like good for like baiting, like you like doing drug or shit or whatever, so you can like kill Eddie. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play it too much. Alpha players suck.
Word up. Yeah, Alpha players are pretty bad. I don't even play this matchup anymore. I just play Asuka for it. But yeah, that is every character. I'll do this. So I'll put my matchup chart on the screen, and then I'll put Poncho's as well. We'll both I guess we'll both make one, and I'll just put it at the end of the video, like right now. I'll put it at the start as well, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maybe I will, or maybe I'll just put it here if you make it here. But yeah, I'll put both of ours on the screen, and then in the comment section, you just go and ask questions either to me or Poncho or to the both of us, whatever one answers first, like based on what maybe if you play a character and want to know why this is bad and whatnot. We'll both answer it, but if you have individual questions like, yo, Poncho, why did you put this character here, but Dommy put it here, then we'll then we'll go and answer it. Yeah, I will put Poncho's, he doesn't stream, but I'll put his Discord on the screen in case you want to get in contact with him and talk to him. And then obviously I'll put his Twitter on the screen as well, which he doesn't use, or he does, but he's just low-key. I'll put it on the screen as well if you want to get in contact with him. This was fun. Hopefully Zato gets some buffs this upcoming season, right? Hopefully. But that's probably just fucking cope. But, yeah, doomed. But yeah, again, I'll put the matchup charts on the screen. Maybe they'll be on the screen the whole video. I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to see what my editor wants to do, but we'll definitely make sure that the matchup charts are know and whatnot and seen on the screen, so people don't like they don't miss it. But yeah, that was it. Thanks everyone for watching, and until the next time.